Hello, my name is Cameron Mang. I'm an assistant professor in the Faculty of Kinesiology and Health Studies at the University of Regina. Sarah and I have put together a series of exercises that you can try at home. Sarah will be demonstrating them in the following video clips. You are welcome to try the whole set of exercises or pick out a few that work for you. If at any time you've been told by your doctor that you should only perform exercise when directly supervised or that exercise might be unsafe for you, then you should definitely consult with a professional in a one-on-one format before proceeding. Otherwise, please enjoy the clips and follow along. And all you should need to take part are a timer, maybe a timer on your phone, and a chair. So enjoy.
Hello everyone, my name is Sara Butchart. I'm a clinical exercise physiologist as well as a sessional instructor and exercise therapist at the University of Regina. Today we'll be going through a series of exercises that will focus on strength, function, and mobility. Make sure to only do the exercises you feel comfortable doing and take breaks as needed. Our first exercise is a sit to stand. For this exercise, we can either use our arms to lower ourselves back or have our arms crossed over our chest. Push your hips behind you and try and sit as far back in the chair as you can. Make sure to keep your chest up and you look straight ahead. Work at your own pace, trying to get 30 seconds worth. Marching on the spot is a low-impact cardio move that warms up the muscles and prepares the body for more strenuous exercise. In order to start this exercise, stand straight with your elbows bent at a 90-degree angle and your feet hip-width apart. You will then bring your right elbow forward at the same time you bring your left knee up. Repeat on the opposite side and keep alternating sides for 30 seconds. Facing forward, maintain an upright posture. Make sure to keep your back straight. Also, focus on your breathing pattern. Your breathing should be steady and slow throughout the entire exercise. You can also perform a march in a seated position. In order to perform a seated march, make sure to sit fully back into your chair with your back straight. You will then alternate lifting legs up and down. For this exercise, you can solely focus on lifting your leg up and then lowering it. If you feel comfortable with that, you can then add bringing one arm up, one arm down, making sure you're lifting your opposite arm and opposite leg. Make sure to work at your own pace and stay in control for the whole exercise. Our next warm-up exercise is punching. We can do this from a standing position, or we can incorporate marching along with our punches. For this exercise, make sure we're staying in control, trying our best to get 10 punches to the front, 10 punches to the side, and then 10 punches to the ceiling. While we punch, make sure we alternate arms and work at our own pace. Our punching can also be done from a seated position. We can add opposite arms punching in front with lifting an opposite leg, or we can just focus on moving our arms. Again, we'll do 10 punches to the front, 10 to the side, and 10 to the ceiling. Focus on doing what you can and working at your own pace. Our next warm-up exercise is either our shoulder rolls or full arm circles. For this exercise, make sure to stand with your feet hip-width apart. You're going to let your arms hang down at the side of your body. Breathe in, lift the shoulders up towards the ears. You will then move your shoulders back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Once you've completed all the backwards motions, make sure you also do shoulder rolls forwards. Exercise can also be completed in a seated position. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. For both the seated and standing, try your best to get 15 seconds forwards and 15 seconds backwards, working at your own pace. Our next exercise is an alternating bicep curl. Start in a seated position with your arms nice and close to the side of your body. Your elbows should stay pinned to your side and not move throughout the whole exercise. From there, you're going to bring the palm of your hand up towards your shoulder, alternating arms. For this exercise, we'll breathe out as we bring that dumbbell up and in as we lower. Make sure to alternate arms each rep. Our next exercise is a front raise followed by a lateral raise. For our front raise and our side raise, our arms should stay relatively straight. Starting with our front raise, we'll bring our arms up to shoulder height, then lower back down to starting position. From there, we'll bring our arms out to our side and then lower back down. Make sure to work at your own pace, keeping a consistent breathing pattern. The next exercise will help us work the muscles of the back of our arm. To start, we'll be in a seated position with our hands on our armrests. Using the back of your arm, you're going to straighten your elbows, pushing yourself up off the chair. Make sure not to lock out your elbows when you reach that top range of motion. Work at your own pace. You can start by lifting your bum up a little bit, only pushing into your armrests, or getting almost up to a standing position. Our next exercise is a chair sit-up. Start with your bum towards the edge of your chair and your feet flat on the ground. Your arms should be crossed over your chest. You're going to keep your head over your shoulders and your shoulders over your hip. Squeezing your core muscles, you're going to slowly lower yourself back towards the back of your chair. Squeezing your stomach muscles, you're going to return yourself back up to starting position. Make sure to keep your feet planted on the ground. If our feet are lifting, we're going back too far. Work at your own pace and be sure not to hold your breath. Our next exercise is a seated heel drag. Sit at the edge of your chair. You're going to extend one leg at a time by reaching one leg straight out so your heel is rested on the floor. You are then going to drag your heel back towards you. The more you dig your heel into the floor, the more you will feel your hamstring working. Start off with easy pressure and then move to more pressure. Make sure to work at your own pace, alternating legs. Our next exercise is a chair leg extension. You're going to extend your leg, keeping your ankle in line with your knee. Once your leg is straight, lower your leg, returning to the starting position. You will then repeat on your opposite leg. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall, keeping your breath steady and working at your own pace. Our next exercise is a seated abdominal twist. Start by sitting in your chair. Feet should be flat on the ground and your knees bent. You are then going to cross your arms over your chest. Sitting up nice and tall, you're going to look over one shoulder, return back to center, and then look over the other. Make sure you're going slow and controlled and not holding your breath. Our next exercise is a standing hip extension. Stand up tall, holding the back of a chair. Keep both of your legs straight. Slowly take one leg backwards, tightening your butt muscles as you do this. Do not lean your body forward as you do this movement. Once your leg has hit the end range of motion, return it back to the starting position and switch legs. Our next exercise is a heel tap to the front. In order to perform this exercise, make sure you're standing up nice and tall. You can have your hands on your hips or a chair for support. You're going to bend one knee and with the opposite leg, tap your heel in front. Once you've done 10 seconds of heel taps to the front, we'll move to toe taps to the side. Make sure we're alternating legs and working at our own pace. Once we've done 10 seconds of toe taps to the side, we'll do toe taps behind. Again, make sure our breathing is consistent and we're working at our own pace. We can also do this warm-up exercise from a seated position. If we are staying seated, make sure we're sitting up nice and tall. Alternating legs, we're going to reach one out in front of us, tap the ground with our heel, and then bring it back to our starting position. We can also do toe taps to the side if we feel comfortable. If not, try your best to take a little bit of a wider heel tap, about a 45-degree angle. After that, we'll move to toe taps behind us. Again, try 10 seconds each direction. Our next exercise is a calf raise. For the standing variation, we'll stand behind our chair using the back of the chair for support. You'll spread your feet shoulder width apart, then slowly raise your heels up off the ground. Make sure to keep your knees extended but not locked. Pause for 1 second once you've reached the top, and then slowly lower back down towards the ground. You'll repeat this for about 30 seconds, working at your own pace, again staying slow and controlled. You can also perform this exercise from a seated position. We'll start sitting up nice and tall with both feet flat onto the ground. You will then lift your heels up, squeezing your calf muscles, then slowly lower your feet back down to starting position. We can lift both feet at the same time, or alternating one heel up and then the other. We will now move on to our cooling down exercises. These exercises should be done after more intense physical activity to allow the body to gradually transition to a resting or near resting state. Our first cool down exercise is a neck stretch. Sitting up nice and tall, drop your ear to your same side shoulder. Hold that for 10 seconds. Then switch over to the opposite side. Following this, we'll drop our chin to our chest. Hold each position for 10 seconds. Our next cool down exercise is an upper back stretch. Sitting up nice and tall, bring your arms in front of you. Interlock your fingers and push your hands away. Hold this for 10 seconds. Following our upper back stretch, as shown here, we are going to move into a chest stretch. So again, sitting up nice and tall, bring your hands behind your back and pull back. You should feel a nice pull in your chest, but never pain. Hold this position for 10 seconds. Our next cool down exercise is a tricep stretch. Give yourself a pat on the back and either push or pull that elbow with your opposite hand. Hold each stretch for 10 seconds. You should feel a slight pull, but never pain. Our last cool down exercise is a glute stretch. Sitting up nice and tall, bring your opposite ankle to your opposite knee. You will then lean forward, hold that position for 10 seconds, and then switch legs. If we feel uncomfortable leaning forward, we can give the knee that is bent across a slight push down. Again, make sure that you are not feeling any pain.